So, you think you'd crush it in the Middle Ages, huh? You're sitting there with your iced coffee, your phone, scrolling TikTok, maybe binging some medieval fantasy show, and you're like, bro, I would have been a knight. I would have had a castle. I would have feasted on giant turkey legs every night. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even survive your first 24 hours in medieval Europe. Forget being a knight, you'd be lucky to last long enough to even figure out which way to squat in the outhouse. Actually, wait, there were no outhouses, just holes in the ground. Yeah, welcome to reality. Let me break it down for you. Why you wouldn't last a single day in the medieval ages. 1. Hygiene was a nightmare. First things first, hygiene, or rather, the total lack of it. You know how you get annoyed when you forget deodorant for one day? Imagine living in a world where no one even knows what deodorant is. Nobody's showering every day, nobody's brushing twice a day. Your medieval morning routine would go something like this. Wake up on a straw mattress, shake off the fleas, maybe wash your face with cold water if you're lucky, and that's it. Congratulations, you're now the cleanest person in the village. Teeth? Don't even ask. By the time you hit 30, you'd be gumming your bread like a grandpa at a nursing home. There's no toothpaste, no dentists, and if you do have a cavity, you're getting it yanked out with pliers. No anesthesia, just a big gulp of ale and a prayer. And don't even start with toilets. Spoiler alert, people just dumped chamber pots out the window. So if you're walking down a medieval street, yeah, that rain hitting your shoulder, that ain't rain, buddy. Number 2, fashion? More like torture. Now let's talk fashion. You're not wearing armor. Forget it. That stuff was insanely heavy, ridiculously expensive, and only the top-tier knights got to wear it. You'd be rocking itchy wool, scratchy linen, and probably a potato sack if you were poor. And guess what? Laundry wasn't exactly a thing. Clothes were washed like a couple of times a year. The smell of a medieval market wasn't fresh baked bread and flowers. Nah, it was wet dogs, sweaty socks, and rotting fish. Shoes? Made of leather so stiff your feet would blister just from walking down the street. Don't even think about sneakers. Jordans don't exist here.
3. Food would break you. Now, about food. You wouldn't be feasting in a banquet hall. You'd be choking down black bread, cabbage soup, and maybe some dried peas if the harvest was good. Meat? Rare. Sugar? Forget it, unless you're royalty. Oh, and everything is either oversalted, burned, or fermented. Your modern stomach, used to fast food and flavored chips, would be screaming in protest. Also, food poisoning? That's basically a weekly occurrence. You eat some bad pork? Congrats, you're rolling on the dirt floor with dysentery. And let's not forget, you don't get coffee, or chocolate, or soda. Nope. Your drink choices are sketchy water that might kill you, or ale that tastes like sour bread juice. Enjoy! Okay, so say you stub your toe, get a cut, or catch the sniffles. In 2025, you pop a pill. Go to the doctor, maybe chill at home. In the Middle Ages, you're screwed. Doctors back then were more like guessers. You're sick? They'll bleed you. Headache? Let's drill a hole in your skull to release the demons. You got a fever? Here, put some leeches on it. Seriously. And if you were really unlucky, they'd accuse you of being possessed by the devil. Congratulations, now you're part of a medieval exorcism. Oh, and if the plague rolls into town? Yeah, that's a wrap. You'd be covered in boils, puking blood, and dead within a week.
5. Social life sucks. But wait, you say, at least I'd be living in a tight-knit community, right? Oh yeah, real tight-knit. Like, everyone knows everyone's business. Privacy? Doesn't exist. Entertainment? Forget Netflix. Your fun is watching pigs wrestle in the mud. And if you say the wrong thing, boom, you're branded a witch or a heretic. Public execution, baby. You'd be tied to a stake and burned while the whole village watched like it's the season finale of Game of Thrones. Also, let's be real. If you weren't born into nobility, you're just a peasant. And peasants, they worked sun up to sundown in fields breaking their backs just to survive. No vacations, no weekends, no hobbies. Just endless labor, sore muscles, and praying you don't get drafted into some pointless war. And Number 6, danger everywhere. Now let's talk about danger. Everything is trying to kill you. Your house, built of wood and straw. Fire hazard. Your food, half the time spoiled. Disease, constantly lurking. Traveling, forget roads. Most of them were muddy paths, full of bandits waiting to jump you. And then there's war. Armies just marching through villages, burning crops, taking supplies, and, if you're really unlucky, conscripting you into their army where you'll die horribly in your first battle. Oh, and animals. Wolves, boars, and bears weren't just zoo attractions, they were real threats. You think you're tough until a wild boar charges you? Good luck, buddy. Number 7, technology who? Want to listen to music? No Spotify. If you're lucky, maybe a drunk guy with a lute. Want to light up your room? Candles, made of animal fat. Enjoy that smell. Want to send a text? You're sending a letter that takes 3 months to arrive, if it even survives the trip. Want to cook? Hope you know how to start a fire. No microwaves, no stoves, just smoke in your face and maybe some half-cooked bread. Your medieval iPhone is basically a stick. That's it, a stick. Have fun. Number 8, justice was a joke. Let's say someone accuses you of stealing a chicken. Do you get a fair trial? No. You get trial by ordeal, which means you might have to stick your hand in boiling water. If it heals miraculously, you're innocent. If not, well, sucks to be you. Or maybe they'll just dunk you in a river. Float, guilty, sink, innocent, but also dead. Justice wasn't about evidence. It was about superstition and whoever had the most power.
9, religion ruled everything. And don't forget, everything you do is controlled by religion. Church bells wake you up. Church bells tell you when to eat. Church bells tell you when to pray. Miss church? Suspicious. Don't pay your tithes? Trouble. Say the earth goes around the sun? Congratulations, Galileo. You're now a heretic. Basically, the church was the medieval version of the internet. It controlled everything you saw, heard, and believed. 10. Life expectancy was short. Finally, let's talk lifespan. In the Middle Ages, living to 40 made you basically a senior citizen. Childhood diseases, infections, childbirth, famine, these things wiped people out constantly. And even if you did survive, your body would be wrecked from hard labor by the time you were 25. Forget the gym, you'd be shredded from hauling water and digging dirt, but your back would feel 80 years old. So yeah, you, sitting there with your DoorDash order, watching YouTube on a comfy couch, you would not last one day in the Middle Ages. You'd be crying for Wi-Fi by lunchtime, begging for toothpaste by dinner, and dead of dysentery by morning. So next time you think, man, I wish I was born in medieval times, it was so simple back then, just remember, it wasn't simple. It was filthy, it was brutal, and it was short. Count your blessings. Be glad you've got air conditioning, painkillers, pizza delivery, and the internet. Because honestly, medieval times weren't epic. They were a living nightmare. Anyway, thanks for surviving this video, unlike you would have survived the Middle Ages. Smash that like button, subscribe for more history rants, and comment below. What's the one modern thing you could not live without if you got stuck in the past? I'll see you in the next one, assuming we're not all time traveling back to the plague years. Peace out.